Hello and welcome to week 3 of AC 1110 Accounting Fundamentals. My contact information is down here with the name, the email address, the phone number, and we have a weekly office hours which are optional, and they are on Monday 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, and we have a different phone number in order to log into that so that we can have a conference call as well as an online virtual office so that we can see each other's screens and have more of a visual in terms of working through problems. So that can be very helpful if we go through some problems in that format. Once again, this is optional. It is office hours. We're going to take a look at the gradebook on the left-hand side. That's going to be this green icon over here. Now remember, most of your work is going to be done in Connect up top on this tab up top. But then once a week, we will be taking the work from Connect and uploading it into Moodle Rooms. For week 3, then starting week 3, we will have by Tuesday the end, all the grades from week 1 and week 2 should be updated. So late work from week 1 and work from week 2 should be updated by the end of Tuesday into Moodle Rooms. Remember that Moodle Rooms is the final place where their grades will be, and so you want to check this at least once a week. So as you go, you're going to make sure that you're picking everything up in Connect as well as Moodle Rooms. And then once a week, you want to check this after the grades have been updated and make sure that it looks like you think it should on your end, and make sure that if anything has not been picked up, that you see if you can pick up any late work on it. Most of the things can be picked up for late work. You might get some late work points taken off on it, but just make sure to pick up as much as you can for the all the work in here. So if you come in here and you see any zeros within the assignments and or the homework, then go in and pick those up if you can. Note that the quizzes are the one thing that we generally cannot pick up late, and therefore you want to make sure to do those on time, and or if there is an unusual circumstances, let me know and see if we can give you an extension. Those we take on a case-by-case basis. So therefore, make sure to do the quizzes by Sunday, and if you have an unusual circumstance, contact me on it and we can take that by a case-by-case basis. Even if you're not prepared for the quiz, you want to make sure you get something on it and not get a 0 on it. Going to go back to the top, up to the cookie trail up top. Going to scroll down to the current week that we are in, being week 3, and see what we have in week 3. We have your objectives, your topics up top. We're going to cover the chapters 3 and chapter 4 in this case, and you have the materials here. Much of the materials will be the same in that, note that we're going over all the introductory topics, the building blocks, and these are going to be the building blocks that we're going to use for all future courses. So even once you complete this course, we're going to look into diving down into more specific accounts in later accounting classes, such as looking more specifically at fixed assets, more specifically at accounts receivable. But as we do that, you want to be able to zoom back and see how they fit into the big picture. That's what we're looking at here. So these chapters 1 through 4 really cover the entire accounting cycle, and we're going to keep on coming back to them in every chapter. And in every new chapter that you go to, you want to review the fundamental accounting resources, review the building blocks, and see if that makes sense. See if the connection between the income statement, the balance sheet, and the equity makes more sense as we go. You want to watch this weekly if you could, I would, and then take a look at it and make sure that the connections, the interlacing between the accounting equation, the debits and credits, and the financial statements are becoming more solidified in your head, and you can think about it in different ways in different terms. So it is a good practice to go over some of the same stuff that we have looked at multiple times. It takes a long time for really to internalize that type of stuff. Then we have the discussion forum here. Remember that discussion forum is worth 21% of the grade. I would strongly approach the discussion, all these classes in the format that we want to get 100% of the discussion forum grade and as much as the assignments as possible, and therefore if we do not do as good on the quizzes, then we have some cushion. 21% is a huge piece of the grade. We have the most control over the discussion forums. How do you get full credit on the discussion forums? We need a minimum of 4 posts. Most students are going to need more than 4 posts. Note how they work is that the discussion forums are going to accumulate in total. So every post will give you credit. You can't lose credit on a post, but it is possible to have a post that is less than full credit post. Therefore, 4 would be great posts. 4 great posts would give you full credit. And if you have less than great posts, then you probably need more than 4 to get full credit on the posts. Remember that the posts, you want to add substance to the conversation. So you want to add something of substance, whether that be another question on the post or answering a certain question. You can answer a question and add material to the question. You can go on to a different type of subject related to the subject that we are on. You can answer questions to my post, the original post, to other people's posts. If I give a question to someone else, you can go ahead and answer that as well. And just remember that we need to pick up at least 4, and I would pick up like 5 to 7 and get in the practice of making sure to get full credit on these, because you have the most control over those and they're worth 21% of the grade. The assignment here, this assignment will be in Connect. This assignment will be in Moodle Rooms. So note that that's what it means by saying Moodle Rooms here. Some of your classes later will not have Connect, and we're trying to get you used to uploading something into Moodle Rooms. So you want to upload that here. The Connect assignment up top will be in Connect. And if you scroll down, you have this Connect assignment. Remember that these 2 paperclip things do not need to be turned into Connect. This one is just a duplicate of the Moodle Rooms assignment. This one is an Excel worksheet to help you to input the information here. So these Connect problems, these problems are longer types of problems. This type of icon indicates a longer problem. And so don't be intimidated by the longer problem. Use the resources in terms of the Excel worksheet to pick up a lot of points on those types of problems, because you have all the information in these types of problems, and you have the trial balance oftentimes. These are actually a little bit easier in some ways to figure out what is going on because of that. So make sure to use this resource in order to work this problem. Also make sure that if you go to the very bottom of this problem, there's going to be an icon that says check my work. Check your work before you turn it in. And if you do that, it'll tell you what you got wrong. It won't tell you what you got wrong if you haven't filled out the information, but it will tell you what is wrong if you put information in there before you turn it in. So make sure to use that check my work thing at the bottom before turning it in. After you turn it in, you could work it again, but the numbers will change. The format will be much the same, but the numbers will change. Then you have the Moodle Rooms assignment. This one does not need to be turned in here. I put the paperclip in here just to remind people, because once people get used to Connect, they stop going into Moodle Rooms. So I'm going to put this paperclip here and show you this Excel worksheet assignment that doesn't need to be turned in anywhere in this platform. It needs to be turned in. I'm going to go back up to Moodle Rooms right here in this platform. So if you open up this assignment, and when the week is open, there'll be a submit button at the bottom right there. That's where you want to turn that assignment in. I'm going to go back up to the cookie trail up top, and I'm going to scroll back down to week 3. And so that is going to be those. Then the homeworks are going to be here. Remember, those are going to be the Learn Smarts. The Learn Smarts are going to be the smaller type of assignments, and once you completed them, I recommend going back in there and doing them again if you want to study for such as the midterm here. So if you want to study for the midterm, it's a good idea to use the Learn Smarts. These problems up here are generally longer problems, kind of like more real life problems where you'd have the trial balance, you have too much information really, and you need to back out the information. The Learn Smarts are information where we have limited information. Multiple choice questions often have too little information. They're really good at testing knowledge, but they test it in unusual ways, in ways that we may not see in real life. They might ask a question that's pretty much backwards to the way we'd actually see it in the field most of the time. But that does test knowledge very well. Therefore, the only way to get good at like multiple choice type questions is to work a lot of them. So you want to get used to the big picture type of questions up here. Then you want to see how someone could, manipulate these types of questions to test knowledge by limiting information in different ways. That's what basically happens oftentimes in multiple choice type questions. The Learn Smarts, once you've completed them, if you work them again and again, you do not lose credit. You can't lose points for working it after you have full credit, and they'll be good practice for studying for things like the midterms and the quizzes. So that's it for week 3. Have a great week 3.